Okay, everyone, we're live on YouTube, and I want to start whenever you're ready.
All right, it's 5 p.m., so we will call the July 12th Fire District 5 Fire Commissioners meeting to order. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Ency,
Yes.
Commissioner Nelson,
Yes.
Commissioner Sudich,
Yes.
Commissioner Urbina,
Yes.
Chairman Wilsey.
Yes. All right, any commissioner absences coming up? All right, seeing none, hearing none. Any communications to the board?
No communications.
All right, can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the June 28th meeting?
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Ency,
Yes.
Commissioner Nelson,
Yes.
Commissioner Sudich,
Yes.
Commissioner Urbina,
Yes.
Chairman Wilsey.
Yes. All right, voucher and ACH payroll approval.
I'll move that we approve accounts payable vouchers 197504 through 197574, payroll vouchers 197575 through 197591, and ACH payroll transfer and wire transfer fees grand totaling $2,351,323.79 as outlined in the agenda.
I'll second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Ency,
Yes.
Commissioner Nelson,
Yes.
Commissioner Sudich,
Yes.
Commissioner Urbina,
Yes.
Chairman Wilsey.
Yes. All right, any reports from 3390 tomorrow or tonight?
I talked to President Flick and he has nothing.
All right, takes us in the Chiefs report.
Great, thank you. Obviously, like we stated before, in compliance with the governor's open public meeting requirements, we do have headquarters open, and Chief Black is in there if anybody ever wants to come to be here for the open public meeting, and he's in there right now. I'm not sure if he's got anybody with him, but we're ready to receive guests. We finished up our division chief search. Yesterday, we had another panel interview with 4. Then we did a final chief interview with myself in the afternoon. Just this afternoon, we made a final decision, and our HR director, Chief Harrington, and Assistant Chief Bierstrom have been making calls in the last hour. So I don't want to put out names yet because I don't know if everybody's been notified, but we have made an offer over the phone, and that person is accepted. We're hoping that they'll start on October 1. So by next meeting, I'll let or through an email, or we'll let you know all the details. But we're excited to have that process almost complete. I'll give you an update on 4th of July. We did staff Station 53 on Fox Island. Although it was a busy night around the district, there wasn't anything of great significance. We did have one person blow off their hand with fireworks and responded to that person, and they lost some fingers. In our district, we had a firefighter, a Seattle firefighter that lived within our district that passed away over the 4th of July week. We assisted Seattle Fire Department with moving him to the medical examiner's office, and then later we assisted moving the firefighter from the medical examiner back to Gig Harbor. So we've been assisting them, and I'm proud of our department, the way our members stepped up to honor him and take care of him and his family. I did receive a call from the Seattle Fire Chief thanking us for all of our support with our citizen and our brother Seattle firefighters. So I wanted to let you know how proud I am of our department for doing that. We are, I had reported earlier that we will be doing Station 58 next. We worked on Station 59. We'll be starting that in October. It's a little bit delayed, but we'll be doing the same minor updates to that station that we did to Station 59, and that will start in October. We are looking at also, I don't know if any of you have heard of a company called Lexipol, but we're evaluating them. They come into fire and police departments and help you with standardizing your policies, procedures, making sure they're legal and checking with your state codes. We used them in my previous experience, and we're just starting that to evaluate if it's something that we could or should or may do here. They take all of your policies, procedures, make sure they're correct with the collective labor agreement, with the state code and best practices. And it just helps you with staff time doing that, and they're professionals at it. So we're looking at that right now. Last but not least is the bond. Gig Harbor Now had an article on assessed values and taxes and how they don't always correlate. And I thought it was a very good article. And if you have that or can share it or let people know, it's a really good way to explain that assessed value increases don't always correlate with tax increase. I have another interview with Gig Harbor Now this Thursday on the bond specifically. Tomorrow morning at 7, I'm speaking at Kiwanis. And then tomorrow evening is our first station open house at 53 at Fox Island at 6 p.m. and you're all welcome to attend. We've been working hard on having some storyboards, and I'll give a high-level overview. I'm sure because it's Fox Island, we're gonna not only have tax questions but service level discussions, and I think we'll be there, and the whole team will be there and ready to answer those questions. So we're looking forward to that. Chief Johnson and Chief Corrigan just went to Boise last week. We hear that their last chief built a training facility and some fire stations, so they went over to look at that and came back with some great ideas. So we were glad to send them over there and learn from them. That is all I have for chief updates. If anybody has any questions or anything for me.
All right, thank you, Chief. And then standing committee reports. I know the negotiation team has met a couple of times just to kind of prepare for our upcoming negotiations here next week. So more to come on that, but yeah, we look forward to having our sessions next week to start negotiations and kick them off. I don't have anything for chairman's report tonight. So old business, EMS levy lid lift. We have a resolution tonight.
Yeah, we had this before you 2 weeks ago, and we this is the EMS levy lid lift, and it requires the board to pass it to put it on the ballot in November. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer them. Our council has obviously reviewed it and assisted with it, and we think it's ready to go.
Go ahead, Kev.
I guess the only question I have is, I know the timing and everything we have to do, but how do we get it out that what the voters voted on next month, and now we bring something else to them in November? How do we get them to see the difference, or what the difference is between the two things that we're presenting to them?
Yeah, that's difficult for us, right? Because explaining bonds and levies, heck, I've had to have it explained to me 10 times, and sometimes I feel I don't always understand it all, right? But we have been, and every time I I speak at all those events, I talk about both the bond and the levy and how we're funded. So we're doing our best, at least those community events. Liz Loomis has been helping us through that education. So it's a good question. I hope we're doing well in all of our community events, because one of the first thing I talk about is how we're funded and the difference between levies and bonds, and why we need a bond, because there isn't enough in the levy to pay for our capital campaign. So I hope we're doing a good job of explaining it. We'll do it at the open houses. And Liz Loomis will be helping us as we move into after the bond into the levy. So it's a good question. I hope we're doing a good job.
While you're giving the talk that you've been doing in regards to the bond, the levy has been a part of that. The levy that has been a part of your talks too.
Every time I speak, I always talk about how we're funded, and I go over the 50 cents. I go over the $1.50. I talk about them being 6-year levies, how it funds our operations. So yes, I've been talking about it every time.
Okay, great, thank you.
And I think Kevin, I would add that having been involved in the various school bond campaigns over the years, the school district has done a pretty good job of articulating that bonds are for buildings, levies are for learning. So I think it's sort of, analogous to what Dennis is saying as well.
Yeah, I understand that, but I just, I can just see with them being so close together with each other, I can just see people saying, well, wait, I just voted for something, and I just voted for this in August, and it raised this. And so I'm just, I'm just curious, because there's going to be those that are, well, we just voted for you for something. We just voted, $80 million for something and everything. So, I just, just throwing that out there. I'm sure that the education is getting out there and stuff, but it's just been something I've been thinking about since we've been doing this, that we're, so close together. So anyway, thank you.
And I'd really like to encourage you guys, like Chief said, to share that Gig Harbor Now article with whoever you can. I've seen a lot of pushback right now because of the property value increase in our community, with people saying, oh, I'm not voting for any more taxes. This is ridiculous. My property is up 30%. Well, it is, but that doesn't mean your taxes are going up 30%. And it does a really good job of articulating that. So I would just iterate what Chief said about sharing that article.
So, Chief, with respect to the agenda item, I would move that we approve resolution 2022-06.
I'll second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any more discussion? All right, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Incy,
Yes.
Commissioner Nelson,
Yes.
Commissioner Sudich,
Yes.
Commissioner Urbina,
Yes.
Chairman Wilsey.
Yes. All right, is there any other old business that we need to discuss tonight? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to new business with the Rice Fergus Miller contract update.
Thank you. So before you in your packet is an update for a contract that needs your approval for signature with Rice Fergus Miller. As we're going through this, one of the things that I want to do, for lack of a better word, is be as shovel ready as we can after the bond passes. So we have engaged with Rice Fergus Miller on a contract to revitalize the plans that we already have. I wanted to get them going as fast as possible. So this contract is for $124,040. Where the funding will come from? It is bond eligible, even though they start it before the bond passes. We have a line in this contract that if the bond fails, that we won't execute the contract. There may be a few $1,000s of fees between now and August 2nd. We have $50,000 in our budget that I put in there last year for any bond, anything just like this. So we've checked with our bond counsel that this is bond eligible. If the bond passes on August 2nd, this work will continue through and we'll be able to use the funding from that. And we'll be 8 weeks ahead of schedule. So that's the purpose of this. That's why we're doing it now before the bond starts. We do have some money set aside if for any work that happens between now and August 2nd, if we have to cancel the contract. So hope that all makes sense, and looking for your approval so that we can sign this and get moving with revitalizing that training campus.
Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I just add one thing. I'm looking at some of the figures here, and the design work and development work that was done years ago is not included in this. So this is just for new billing, so to speak. You might speak to that, Chief. You're better than
Yeah, so we have already paid for lots of work by Rice Fergus Miller on this training campus, and so this is just refreshing it from that time, from 2008 until now, and we are making some slight changes on some interior walls, just to update everything from 2008 till now. So all that work and everything that we paid for in the past doesn't go to waste whatsoever. It's more just updating it to current code and some slight changes that we've made from 2008. So that the money that we have paid in the past is not going to waste. We still have all that design and all that work that was done in the past.
I would just also point out, in looking over the documents and talking with Tanya last night is, this isn't a full commitment if the bond doesn't pass as well. So we can back out of this if we don't pass the bond. So it's not like we're spending $124,000 here. And then if we don't get the bond, then we've wasted money. It's not that case. We would talk with Rice Fergus Miller and definitely get a refund of most of these dollars. But anyway, I just wanted to point that out so that we aren't just, betting on the come here a little bit. It's not what we're doing. So any other discussion? All right. Have any motion to approve the vitalized contract?
So moved.
second.
All right. It's been moved and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Incy,
Yes.
Commissioner Nelson,
Yes.
Commissioner Sudich,
yes.
Commissioner Urbina,
Yes.
Chairman Wilsey.
Yes. All right. Any other new business that needs to come before us tonight? All right. Seeing none, we'll move to open public comment. Please state your name for the record. You'll have 3 minutes. Do you have anybody that would like to speak tonight? Besides aid 4. Looks like we got Carl. Carl, looks like you made your way in here. Is your audio working?
Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
Nope. Okay. You all just approved this resolution on the lid lift. And we talked 2 weeks ago about some of the verbiage in there where it said that delivery of paramedic services in Pierce County and the fire district has greatly enhanced the survival rate of victims of trauma and cardiac arrest. We chatted about it then. So since it's been approved, I'm curious if any member of the board or staff has any non-anecdotal hard data to justify the statement.
I don't think the board does. I know that we had briefly talked, and I think Chief Oldenburg was going to look into it because we wanted, and I agreed with you, Carl. I mean, it was a broad statement, but I think we do have the ability to find better data than that.
Yeah, we will get that to Carl. I didn't take it that we were going to change the bond language, just that he wanted, that we were going to answer to him what we thought. So I didn't make any changes to it, and we hadn't, because of the 4th of July weekend, gotten to Carl to answer his question and give him some specific data, but we will We will do that.
I, just as an aside, I would think that everybody would want to see that data, Chief, just presuming that somebody will ask you the question. I don't know whether anybody reads the resolution, but if they do, they might well have a question.
No, and I think we'll have it for next meeting, Carl, and I'll definitely share it with everybody. I don't think it just needs to go to you. So,
I appreciate it. Thanks.
all right. Thanks, Carl. Anybody else? All right. I don't see anybody with hands up or anybody getting moved in. So we'll move to good of the order. Anybody have anything for good of the order tonight? Tanya?
Yeah, I just want to remind everybody that the applications for the for and against committee are on the website, and so far we have not received any applications.
All right.
Tanya, what's the due date?
July 13th
So
is
tomorrow.
oh no, let me think about that. July
Well, no,
20th is,
it can't be because we just approved the resolution tonight, so it has to be a period after tonight.
the July 20th. I looked at the calendar wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
Another week. All right. Anything else, Tanya, or
Sorry, no, I forgot to put it down.
no? That's okay. So I make sure we aren't missing you. All right. Anybody else have anything for good of the order? All right. Special interest, upcoming events. I didn't see anything on the agenda. Do we have anything we wanted to speak of? Seeing a bunch of blank stares, I'm thinking that's a no.
The only thing I update you is the recruits are getting close to graduating, and they'll be hitting the streets here soon. When they do, before they hit the streets, I always invite the academy over to my house. My wife and I host them at our house, so we'll be doing that August 2nd, and then they'll be the 5 of them be hitting the streets. So that's coming up on August 2nd.
Nice. And then they're going to get distributed evenly amongst the shifts, or are they just going where they're needed?
A little of both. There's four shifts and 5 of them, so it'll be a little of both.
Somebody's going to get 2. All right. Anything else for special interest or upcoming events? All right. Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned. Our next regular meeting will be July 26th at 5 p.m. here on Zoom and in person at headquarters, if you're so inclined. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.